my favorite things to ask players that come into our basketball academy, I love asking them this question. What are the first two questions you get asked after a basketball game by someone who wasn't at the basketball game? The reason I love it, they all have the same answers. First, did you win? Second, how many points did you score? Which shows what? What society values. Kids are being conditioned at a very early age that results are what matters most, which is why before basketball games, I would pull out a piece of paper and I'd write out 3 goals, 35 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Then I'd fold that piece of paper up, I'd put it in my sock, and then at halftime, I'd pull it out, I'd look at the list and figure out exactly what I needed to focus on in the second half. Bunch of different things wrong with the goals that I set. That's a different talk. The purpose is to show you how goal-oriented I was my entire life until I met a guy named Don Meyer, who at the time was the all-time winningest basketball coach in the history of the game. I asked Coach Meyer what he thought his thoughts were on goals. Here's what he told me.
I tell you what, I'm not real big on goals. We just wanted to have the best practice we could every day. We weren't going to try and win so many games or win the state. I mean, if we're the best team we can be, we might do some of those things, but there's no need to put needless pressure on yourself by setting goals like that.
That answer confused the absolute heck out of me. And I started to talk to more and more high-level coaches, and there were others that were saying the same thing, like Brad Stevens, who was the coach at Butler University. He's now the coach at the Celtics, with the Boston Celtics. And he told me that he's gone away from talking about goals with his team. So why would a coach go away from talking about goals with their team? Well, here's the definition of the word goal. It's the result to which effort is aimed. When you focus on goals, you focus on results. And if you think about it, oftentimes results are outside of our control. So championship coaches want to direct energy into what's in their control, which is the second part of the definition. It's the effort aimed at the result. We call this the process. And it's important to recognize that your process is what drives your result. We have a lot of high-level coaches that come in and watch the way we teach footwork. They observe our process, and they all say the same thing. I can't believe you're getting players to move like this. And we see that, but we also see that it's not transferring into a game for all of them. So we started to ask the question, why? Many different cases, but one could be a player struggles with confidence. Why would we think that they would go into a game with 100, maybe 1,000 people and risk doing something they're not good at? They won't, and it's our job to coach that. And it's evident that there's something else underneath the process that's driving it, which is what I talked to Mike Krzyzewski about, who's the head coach at Duke. And he's actually now the all-time winningest coach in basketball. I asked him what he thinks drives the process. Here's what he told me.
Well, character drives everything. You know, either in a lack of it drives it downward. When you have a lot of it, it drives upward. And character is the foundation upon which you win.
He would know. And we believe that character is also the foundation upon which you develop. Character means so many different things to so many different people. Dr. Jim Lair helped me understand further what character means. There's 2 things that make up character. The first thing is your performance skills. These are character skills that govern your relationship with yourself. The way we explain it to people in our academy, these are the things that will get you up at 5:30 a.m. to go work out at a gym by yourself just to get better. The second category is what we call moral character skills. These are character skills that govern your relationships with others. They're the things that make you a great teammate and a great friend. And together, these make up your character. We have a lot of kids that want to play college basketball. So we went on a journey and we did over 130 interviews. And we boiled this study down to this group of coaches. Now, within this group, there's 8,700 wins, 200 conference championships, and 21 national championships. So from a society standpoint, these guys are killing it. So what we did is we took out with our interviews what they value most. And we populated a list of the top 10 performance and moral character skills. Here's the list. Now, as you look at this list, I want you to think about teams that you've been on, teams that you lead. What if every member had all of these skills? How much better would you be? So I think it's our job as educators, as leaders, as parents, to develop these things. That's why we call them character skills, not traits. Skills can be developed, traits sound fixed. Is the point of this talk to say that you shouldn't set goals? No. Goals can provide a vision and sometimes inspiration if set correctly. The point of this talk is to show you that the great leaders that I've been around, they focus less on the result and more on the process. But they recognize that character is what drives the process, which drives the result. Thank you guys very much.